Rifla, where the masseuses that should be massaging us during the break? I'm joking.
You don't even have something to drink. You're looking for masseuse.
The undiluted. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for it?
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of the Undiluted Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Gina. And today, we have got a very powerful episode. We're going to be talking about trauma and healing. And in the studio with us today is a very talented, beautiful young woman, all the way from, I don't know if I should say Swaziland or Zambia. All the way from Zambia, originally from Zambia, but she grew up in Swaziland. She's a writer and a director. And she's just here to share her story about trauma and healing and how it has shaped her, how she survived from it, and how she discovered it. So over to you, Valerie. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome. So Valerie, let's start by telling us just give us a short background about yourself. Where you grew up, your name, maybe your age, if you're okay sharing, telling us your age, and anything that you think would be of interest to us.
Well, my name is Mapenzi Valerie, and I am 30-something years old. I'm 30-something years old.
Okay.
And I was born in Zambia, but I grew up, as you mentioned, in Swaziland. Yes. And I'm a writer. I've always wanted to be a writer. And yeah, that is definitely the light at the end of the tunnel. I hope to one day create my own TV series.
Oh, nice. So do you have any movies that you have written, anything that you're working on?
I'm currently I'm working on a TV series. It's called Love Much, but I've definitely written a couple of stuff on YouTube, like Diary of an African Girl Child and Into the Wilderness. So if you have time, you can check it out.
Nice. You will tell us before you leave, please tell us where we can check it out and also your social media handles. Okay. So can you tell us, Valerie, when you were growing up, what kind of a child were you?
If I'm being honest, right now, it's only now as I have embarked on this healing journey of mine that I actually am starting to remember just how gifted I was. I'm only starting to remember what a gifted child I was. So that just tells you right from the get-go that there is a big chunk of my life that I didn't see myself as literally anything. Yeah. And this is what we're here talking about today. The trauma. Yes.
Okay, so you want to share with us when it started or how you discovered that you went through trauma, or you've been traumatized, or you've been in situations that you were not supposed to be as a child?
I can't say that there was an actual start date. I feel like it's so systematic. I feel like within our societies right now, everything has become so normalized that you can't actually pinpoint to say that there is where the fault happened. It's like it's become a way of life, right?
It's been normalized.
Yes, it's been normalized. In situations where trauma has been rebranded as culture now. There's just certain things out there that have been normalized that when you try to stand against it, you become the problem.
Okay, do you mind giving us an example, like what kind of things? Just one. You can name one or two.
I can make a general example just about here when it comes to our African, sorry for using the air quotes, African society, where we grow up, being told that that's what men do, men are allowed, that's just a man, blah, blah, blah. Whereas a female, you being
Taught.
Yes, to be a good woman is you have to be subservient. You have to just sort of like accept it. And that is a problem. Like, where did that seed actually come from?
Yes.
You know, the fact that men will grow up thinking that, you know,
it's okay.
I was born to be a macho man. I'm a Casanova. It's like they literally read the Bible where it says, go forth and multiply, and they take it as a commandment. Like, I must go forth and multiply. But what happens to your family there?
Exactly.
You know, because everything is opportunity cost. When you focus on one thing, you are neglecting the other. You know, and that's the fact. If you leave your family to go and start planting seeds somewhere else, what's going to happen?
You're going to neglect the family.
Exactly. So a lot of us, you find, have been raised within neglected homes. Love was never unconditional the way that it was supposed to. And we find that now, even in our adult lives, these are the things that we're still dealing with and working to overcome.
Sorry to interject there. You said love was never there. Did you grow up in a family where you felt like there was not enough love, or there was no love at all? And if you care to share with us, tell us how you grew up, the setup of the family. Did you grow up with both parents, or was it, you know, you only grew up with a single mom like most of us? Or tell us the setup of the family.
Well, since this is the undiluted truth, we're just going to tell the truth, Mosi.
Please.
I grew up with my parents together, right? But, you know, as I said, when it comes to African culture and stuff, I grew up where I suppose my dad thought that he could do whatever he wanted, regardless of the mess he was leaving behind. Let me put it that way. So it was his feelings above everybody else's. You know, he didn't really care who he hurt as long as he got what he wanted. So I grew up, my parents were married, yes, but growing up, I did eventually begin to hear rumors of another woman, you know.
And
not from the family.
How old were you when you heard
I
these
started
rumors?
to hear those? I was maybe probably about 16, 17, 18. And it's just one of those things that you hear from friends.
Yeah.
You know, and you know how friends are.
Like
friends
your
can be
friends
mean.
from school.
And that's the thing. You only ever hear it when you're having a disagreement, you know. It's like...
That's why your
yeah,
dad...
exactly. That's why your dad has another family. So already you're like, what? There's a bit of denial. Like, why would you even
why
say
are you
something
saying
like
that? Yeah.
You know, and as you grow up, you start thinking that, oh, maybe it's my fault. You know,
my family's like this.
Yeah. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I wasn't a good enough child. That's why he had to go and... But as I continued to heal, or as I started to heal, I realized that, first of all, that was never my responsibility to carry.
It wasn't.
When I was born, I was supposed to be loved and supported unconditionally.
Yes.
You know, I wasn't supposed to be jumping through hoops. But that was the reality in which
you grew
I was
up
raised. And as we said, it's normalized so much so that you, the person that's speaking out, right, you become the problem. Because as a woman, you must just shut up and know your place and go to the back.
And at the age of 17, you found out from school, from your friends, that your dad has got another family. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel worthless. Like, why wasn't I good enough? You know, and also it I guess the way those friends, as I said, the way it came out had an impact on that as well. Because I'm like, that's why your dad has another family, because you're not good enough, you know? So already you're growing up with that
mentality.
In your brain. Automatically you start developing people-pleasing behavior because you constantly, everywhere you go, whatever situation you find yourself in, you want to prove that you deserve to be there, you know? Now you start going over and beyond and, you know, doing things that you shouldn't be doing just to prove that I deserve to fit in, you know? So already you do not have a place of belonging.
Yeah.
And you're constantly now looking for a place to belong, you know? And so I say that when it comes to our societies, not even half, maybe like majority of our problems would be solved if we just focused on creating a healthy foundation
for our kids, for the younger ones,
for our kids. Because at the end of the day, you know, I will speak about myself. I don't mean to brag, but like I am aware of how intelligent I am.
Yeah,
you know. but it would be crazy that I don't feel it. You know, it's like, to me, Jay, I'm just, it's only in certain situations where I have to talk myself and say that, but you're good
enough.
Good.
Yeah.
But I still don't see it. It's still a battle just to get to, like, hypothetically, if there is a table, right? And we're talking about everybody coming to the table because this is something that you've been working for, etc., etc., etc. For me, the battle is feeling like I belong there. Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. That's what we deal with when we're talking about healing now. It's trying to fix that faulted foundation.
Yes, and it's all here.
It's all there. It's all there.
And do you have someone who speak life into you, or you've been there for yourself? You started speaking life in you that now you start believing yourself, and it has helped you with the trauma. Is it you, or you have got someone who speaks life in you?
I wish, and this is so sad. I'm so sorry we laugh because it's funny. I wish I actually had somebody that would speak life. But as I said, a lot of these things that we're dealing with are mental, are internal within yourself. So much so that sometimes even when somebody comes and tells you, you still don't believe them.
Yeah.
Because it's internal.
Yeah.
So I started to realize that whatever happens sometimes, even though it's not your fault, it is your responsibility. Because if you don't do anything about it, you'll be stuck there. And what's going to happen when you have other children? You're going to be passing on that mentality of lack, of not feeling good enough onto them as they continue to grow as well, which is very, very problematic.
Because now it's generational. Now.
I can make an example as when I began really healing, really facing some of my own internal issues that I started to recognize within the patterns to the decisions that I made about my life, whether it be personal or romantic or whatever. I started to understand that majority of my decisions were coming from a place of wanting to be liked, of wanting to be accepted.
Yeah.
You don't even know if you want to do that, but you don't want to not do that because they might reject you.
Yes.
So you just kind of like learn to go with the flow. And when I sat down and started really thinking about it,
you saw an error there.
And I saw where I picked it up. I was raised by a mom that stayed with her husband no matter what.
Let's take us back. Walk us through your upbringing. How was it growing up with two parents, and especially now that you've shed some light that your dad had another family? Was your dad a present dad, or he was just there but he was not there? And was your mom a present mom? She was there. Obviously, moms are always there, so obviously mom was there.
You would think that, but again, being present doesn't mean just physically being there. Are you in a place in your life that you can actually show up for the people that you love, including your children, in the ways that they actually need? And you find that most of our time, our parents are also dealing with wounds that they haven't healed from, so much so that they fail then to be able to be present for your child. When I say my mom was very codependent, I mean that, and also this also ties into this idea of trauma then being rebranded as culture, right? Everything that my father said was law. And not in a bad way. Of course, the Bible tells us, we're not going to go into this religious debate. I understood. But so much so that she just do everything
that your father says.
And it's almost as if she needed, as I said, this people-pleasing behavior. She needed his validation. She was driven by this need to be validated by him. Because if he validates her, then she's good enough. So that's the difference between value and validation. With validation, you're looking for external gratification. You're looking for something else to help you to believe that you're good enough.
Yes.
Value means that whether or not you tell me I'm good enough, I'm still going to know.
And I know that
I know
I'm
my
okay.
worth.
Yes.
I know my worth. So you find that some of these women are coming from a place of pain, of unhealed trauma. So you're already codependent, and then you have a child, and this child is just going to watch you like break yourself into a million pieces for a man who doesn't even treat you like you're anything. When we are talking about this idea of conditional love, it's like, it's almost as if like you're dangling a treat in front of a kid, right? If you're good, you can get the treat.
Yes.
There's nothing sort of like, it's very much conditional. And even this idea, the way that it broke me apart to find out that he had another family. Can you imagine what it did to
your mom?
To my mom. Because at the end of the day, she was just a child. The fact is, when they had us, and when we think about the issues that we are still dealing with, they were children themselves.
Yes.
They were literally children. She was just a girl wanting to be loved. And what did she get? My mom is the very definition of, I love my mom to death, and she's amazing, and I understand that times were different back then in the sense that maybe they did not have access to like all the information with the internet and everything, and how connected the world is now. All that information back then, that we do now, that we're able to recognize and say, okay, maybe that was wrong, and what can I do to make it better? Right? But back then it was like, you save your marriage at no matter what. You have these women saying that as long as he comes back home to me, I don't even care what he does. But like, can you imagine, in terms of just generational trauma, what lessons are then being passed down to the next generation? Right? And if you ask yourself about who I was as a child, I was the child that couldn't keep quiet about things. If something bothers me, I'm going to bring it up. I will speak about it. And then again...
And how did that make your mom and your dad feel? Because remember, your mom is the quiet one, and your dad is the one who disciplines you guys.
So 100% I was always the problematic child. I'm the one that talks too much. I'm the one,
So you did get in a lot of trouble for talking too much.
A lot of trouble.
But what questions were you asking?
When I was 12 years old, I asked my mom why she still stays with him. Why did you not just pack your things and go?
When you were 12?
Yeah.
And what did your mom say?
No, that was a very interesting conversation, because if I'm being honest, she told me that she has 3 kids and no degree. How is she going to raise 3 kids?
All by herself?
By herself.
Shame.
So that's what she told me then.
So she stayed for you guys?
For us. But that's also...
Another thing.
I thought that, aren't you a Christian? What happened to... I know the plans that God has for my life to give me hope in the future. Don't you believe that?
Yeah.
But you understand, in situations like that the pain, the trauma will always be louder than any promise of any hope in the future.
Yes.
Because we tend to fall back to the things that we actually know.
But then how was your dad? I mean, would you say that your dad was an abusive husband?
Yes. And I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
You know, we get people like you. That's just your character. There's nothing wrong with laughing whenever you say something that is serious. Trust me, there is nothing wrong with it. I'm sure you're avoiding to cry, or you're avoiding to let because we are taking you back. It's something that you just say trauma, you are healing. So if you're constantly tapping in, or pulling you, it's like we are pulling you from this hole that you've been all your life. And now if we're pulling you, there are places that even you yourself, you didn't want to visit, and you were just like, I close it, I'm done.
Yeah, that's true.
So now I do understand when you laugh. It's okay, it's fine. And I hope people who are going to watch this, they're going to say, no, but why is she laughing? Why is she? It's okay. Trust me, it's fine. So you say your dad was an abusive.
He was. I did find him as very, like, I'm talking about.
So you're saying physically he would beat up your mom?
Yeah. And
for what? And you guys?
Yeah, but.
So you would beat the whole house?
Growing up, I thought that
was normal.
That was normal. Everybody got beat up. What are you talking about? Now I walk around, I'm like, oh my God, this person has never been kicked.
Wait, Chami, you thought your dad beating you and your mom was normal?
All of us. Then you walk around and you're like, you can tell the ones that have never been kicked in the face by a Timberland boot. You're like, come on.
So you used to go, wait. So forgive me for laughing. So you used to go to school with black eyes and...
Not all the time. As I said that maybe I wasn't.
Only when you talk too much, like you said, you were, you know, a
Yeah, I
talkative.
was a little bit, talkative, a little bit.
Were you mischievous?
A little bit. I'm not gonna say I was.
How mischievous were you? Were
I
you
was
naughty?
innocent. I was a little bit naughty in my early years.
How naughty were you?
You know, I definitely got
One
into
incident that you remember.
One incident. I can't think about anything.
When did you have your first boyfriend?
When I was 19.
Your first kiss?
When I was 19.
So you never dated in school?
No, I went to a girls' boarding school. So
Okay.
boys was just such a very foreign concept to me anyway. So
Okay.
uh-huh.
So when you left school, that's when you wanted to explore boys.
And that's
dating.
another problem.
Mm.
If you were raised in a very isolated situation where you don't know freedom, yeah, boy, where you don't know freedom.
When they let you out.
When they let you out, you go crazy. I was definitely tongue ring, nose ring, like all the
Tattoos.
rings. Yes.
Do you have tattoos?
Yes.
I saw you have 1 year. How many tattoos do you have?
Less than 10. I'll have to count, but definitely less than 10.
And how big is your biggest tattoo?
Not so big.
Do they have meanings?
Yeah, all of them had meanings, but some of them I would definitely, if I could go back, I would not do it.
would remove
I would
them.
not do it. Yeah, but that's the thing about life. We live and we learn, I suppose.
And I'm sure you've learned, but I mean it's also
I wish I had a teacher. You know, most of the things that I've learned, I had to learn from by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you learn my whole life is learning the hard way. But then, you know, instead of letting it break you, it's good when you can grow from it, you know?
and learn from it.
And learn from it. And I think that if you learn the hard way, that's like a better teacher than any like theoretical stuff. Because when I say I know, it's because I know, you know?
Because you've been there,
I've
done
been
that.
there. Yeah. So I know that, you know, this decision that you're making now, it's going left. Yeah. But
And
sometimes
then-
you just have to allow the cycles to happen, because at the back of my mind, I'm like, you can't force people to. So
Yes.
sometimes maybe people should learn the hard way. I don't know. There has to be this middle ground, you know.
There has to be a balance.
There has to be a balance.
And then growing up with an abusive father, how did that make you feel to see your mom? I don't know, when your mom was beaten, would she defend herself or she would just, you know, give in?
It wasn't, and with my dad, it was always, I don't want to say humiliation ritual. He'd always have to make such a spectacle about it. Like when you're in trouble, he's gonna call everybody to, I don't know if it's a way to justify his treatment of you or whatever, you know, but it's call everyone and just embarrass the shit out of you, like, you know. You literally feel, that's why I keep on saying narcissistic abuse, you know.
Yes.
You know, because they're trying to justify in a way their treatment of you. But at the same time, you can't make someone believe something. That at the end of the day, we all have our own minds. We can make our own decisions, you know.
Yes.
So there was that with him.
And then that made you feel, what did that make you feel? How
Like
did
you're
that make you
nothing.
feel?
And I think that was the point. So growing up, I started to get very hard. I figured out that the whole point was to make me cry, to make me afraid. So even if I'm getting beat up, even if I'm in trouble, you know, you just tell yourself, don't cry. Don't ever let him see you cry. You bite yourself. The rule I gave myself, you only cry in the rain and in the shower. Rain and shower. Don't ever let anyone see you cry. And that's how I grew up, and that's how I was. And maybe certain people see me as cold because of it, because I'm just like, no, I'm never, because for me, I associated that with weakness. Why are you so content in breaking me down?
And now dealing with healing from the trauma that are you changing? Are you okay with crying in front of people?
It's something that I have to work on. You know, it's a conscious choice to. I have
Show
to
me
tell
you can
myself.
cry now.
I wish it was that simple.
You can hold my hand and cry. Hold my
I
hand.
wish it was that simple.
You can cry. Trust me. You can cry.
But as I'm saying, I have to make a conscious choice to be okay with being vulnerable. You know, sometimes when certain situations present themselves, it's so much easier for me to just walk away.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with it. I learned at such a young age to start compartmentalizing. You know, when something bad is happening. I told you that situation about how don't let them see you cry.
Yes.
It's like you're there, but your mind is not there. You take the situation, you put it in a little box, you bury it somewhere in your mind, and you're like, I'm not going to deal with that. I am moving on.
So were you resilient to pain now?
Yes. You were asking about the tattoos. Yes. People will tell me like it's okay. Even though I was getting it, they'll tell you it's okay to cry, you know.
And you were just...
Yeah. Because I associate that, like, why do you want to see me weak? Because now I'm associating this act of crying as being weak, as being vulnerable. And I understand that from my subjective life experience that being vulnerable puts you in dangerous situations.
Yes.
I don't want to be beat up. I don't want to be berated.
And did you get your tattoos when you were still staying with your dad?
When I was 18, baby. When I was free. And that
And
was the goal.
Did you see the tattoos?
Yeah, but at that point, like, you know.
You didn't care. You were now all grown and you were matured now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find out how. You know how they say whenever when you grow up some type of way, and it actually shapes the woman or the man that you become in life. Yes. So now, growing up with an abusive father, how did that shape your dating view? Do you feel like it's okay to date someone who abused you? I mean, like physically? Or have you ever dated someone who abused you?
Looking back, all of them were abusive in one way or the other. It's almost as if I was seeking out a very specific type of guy. Like if I meet a normal guy, I feel nothing. To me, it's boring. It's almost as if subconsciously I'm seeking the chaos. Why? Because I know that I can survive it. Because I've already survived it. You know, this I can deal with.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's very toxic.
I was definitely... I wanted to date a person that I am a little... And it's funny because you discuss this with your friends and you're like, I like it when I'm just a little bit afraid of him. And you're like, why? That is not healthy.
And then afraid of him, you mean like you want to be afraid of him in what way?
That's the thing. Why? Because you're comfortable.
Because there's a difference between afraid and respect. You know, there's a difference when you respect your person and when you're afraid of him.
That's the thing. It's only now I'm understanding that difference. It is only now that I'm understanding that difference. Oh, no. When it comes to my dating life,
it has been hectic.
Just
give us one dating experience that you've experienced that was that you'll never forget. Well, of course, you won't forget all of them, but there's this specific one that almost killed you.
I will tell you the one where I finally recognize my own patterns, where I recognize Gutsi Haibo.
There's something not all right.
This again. You again. This again. You again. How come? What's going on? And that's when I started recognizing Gutsi like,
this is not normal.
This is not normal. And it was a couple of years ago when I was dating this friend of mine from college.
Friend of yours from college?
Yeah, I'm the friend of... Let's call him T.
Let's call him T,
Yeah, let's call him T.
By the way, I hate men with names that start with a T.
Red flag right there. Red flag.
Are you taking your name? Red flags. T's are just a red flag. So what happened with T?
He reached out to me and it started innocently enough. I knew that he had a crush on me for the longest time, but if I'm being honest, I didn't like the way he talked because...
How did he talk?
Really slow, but not in a bad way. I just realized also that my mind is, you know, when you grow up in chaos. By the time he's talking, I already know the end of the sentence, and it would irritate me. It was like he was just too slow for me.
Okay.
You know, and you have to understand that I was acting predominantly from survival mode, right? I don't know at that point what safety feels like at all.
Yes.
So I was not interested in him at all. I wasn't interested in him. We maybe went on 1 or 2 dates. Like nothing really developed from there, right? And then
Because of his slowness.
not just that. I mean, he was also dealing with stuff of his own. if
Was
I'm
he
being
handsome?
honest. When
Do
I
you
liked
date
him,
handsome men, or you date the scary ones? Since you want to be, you want them to you want to be
I like cute
afraid
guys.
of them.
I like you guys. But again, cuteness is very subjective.
You want to be afraid of the looks also.
Cuteness is very subjective. You know, now looking back, I'm like, was he really, you know? I mean,
They better not be watching this. They're coming for you.
I mean, and typically he's not my type because he was too yellow. I don't like yellow guys. I like the dark ones. But anyways, that's neither here or there. Let's just continue. Like he's not, if I had to choose, he wouldn't be.
Yes.
Anyways, let's move on. So
But he was there at the time and you ate.
Let's get to that. Then a couple of years later, right? And this is, I think, a few early COVID or right before COVID or something. Or no. About 2020, 21, I think. Yeah, because this was after my mom passed away. Yes, 2021. He reaches out to me out of the blue, right? And he's like, "Hi Val, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm fine, yada 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 yada." So he tells me that he just got married. And he tells me that he's having issues in his marriage. And he can't talk to his guy friends, you know.
What is this guy's nationality?
He's Zimbabwean.
My sister.
He's Zimbabwean. Yeah,
And his name starts with a T.
Jesus. So he's like he's having problems in the marriage, and he can't he can't talk to his male friends, so he's just looking for a girl to give him advice, you know. So he starts opening up about all the stuff that's going on.
The lies that he made in his mind that was happening in the marriage. Nothing was happening in that marriage. He just wanted to eat.
I'm not going to make excuses or anything, but for me, the way, because he'd call me late, like I'd say by 10 o'clock or something, and then we'd be on the phone until about midnight or 2 o'clock. So he was telling me that, you know, she's sleeping on the couch and I don't understand.
He was not home. He was in the car.
He was home because he would fall asleep on the phone.
Okay, then the wife was doing night shift. The wife was not at home. The wife was out. By the time the call drops, the wife is coming in the house.
Let me not tell you about the time we're on the phone and then all I hear is like, Tabiwa. Sorry. We're gonna have to edit that out.
No, there are plenty tapiwas, so don't worry. No one is gonna know which tapiwa.
We're gonna have to edit that one out.
It's okay.
What are you doing on the phone at this time? Whoa. Hi, Bo. I had to ask myself, what are you doing on the phone at this time?
Yeah.
Why? And then she took the phone and she's like, who are you? Yada, yada. So obviously
you did talk to her?
Deny.
So as soon as she said, hi, how are you? Who are you? You didn't feel the need to drop the call?
No, because that would be more suspicious.
Oh, okay.
So we definitely went with we're just like friends from college type situation. You know, I'm like, dude, if I was in your situation, I wouldn't get caught.
The smart one.
You know, tell me and I'll coach you how to do this thing.
Minister of what? Cheating. Should we say minister of cheating?
No, but that was, and that's another thing where you have to ask yourself, what has been normalized in your life? Because at that time, if I'm being honest, I didn't really see anything wrong with it. in my mind, I was like, I'm saving this guy. He's in a terrible relationship. You know,
I just want to be there for him.
yeah, and that's where it was coming from. Even after that, you know, then obviously there had to be a cooling down period where we can't really talk as often as we were. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, what if he's not okay? I'm more worried about him. Right? And eventually, you know, trauma bonds, they will always come back to one another. So then it happened again. And this time it got a little bit more serious, where there was a bit of a like family meeting. And I had to ask myself for the first time, was he like, Haibo, Vele, someone's family is gathered because of you, you know? Do you really want to be chosen that much?
Exactly. Are you
And
this
then
desperate?
Yeah. And then I had to like have these conversations with myself. With you, why are you even here?
But how was the relationship? Did he treat you nice? Was he romantic? Was he buying you flowers? Or it was not even that? You just
I think that it was more of, I think he saw me, and that's what I felt like. He saw.
One thing about Zimbabwean men, Chomi, they are very romantic. They're very nice. But it will always end in tears.
It will always tell me about it. Oh my God.
Especially with the T ones.
The T ones. When I look back at it now, it was a trauma bond. You know, we would talk all the time, and as I said, I just lost my mother, and he had lost his grandmother, so we bonded about that. And you know, he was telling me that the other girl is into yoga and exercising and waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and yada yada, and it's always on his case about drinking wine. I was like, what? Come, let's drink wine together. You know, it was, you look back and you're just like, it was so obviously a trauma
There
bond,
was nothing there.
but the problem is when you're in it, you don't see it. To me, it felt like love. Or maybe I rationalized it to think that, oh my God, this guy would risk his whole family for me. He must love me, you know. Because at the end of the day, remember, you feel rejected by your own father. Now you just want to be chosen by
So
a man.
you had daddy issues.
Of course. And the way that society has twisted this to make it seem like it's the girl's fault is fascinating, because it's like, it's the father that wasn't present. It is the dad that abandoned the child, but suddenly she has daddy issues. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know, she had an absent parent. She raised herself. There was no one there to show them right from wrong.
Wrong,
so,
yeah.
So anyways, that ended, thank God. And after that, that's when I decided, yeah, it's when I recognized the pattern. Because it wasn't the first time I found myself in the middle of an entanglement.
With a married man.
With a married man. So I'm like, what, is this your type? No, maybe you're looking for a very specific type of trauma.
So you would say you were attracting a lot of married men. Zimbabwean married men.
Not Zimbabwean, the other one was Congolese.
And how did that one treat you?
Do you really want to know?
I want to know.
Now you want to know. Okay.
Now I wanna
Let
know.
me put it this way. Before him, I did not know what an orgasm was. And after him, I did. No, it was very purely sexual with him. Like, I'm not going to lie. But yeah.
How did he make you orgasm?
Are we going there? I don't know. He's got them skills, I guess. I don't know.
The other ones failed too.
But yeah, I wrote about it.
Was he that
it
good?
It's actually the story.
No. Was he that good?
Yes.
And you miss him?
Not so much, because
Do
there
you
is no growth there.
Do you talk to him?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I mean, no.
No.
Not that I can't.
So
I just
T
don't.
failed to make you reach an orgasm. Oh my.
Listen, with T it was the intimacy. With T, I told myself, you know what? I don't need dick. You know, like I need this intimacy. Yeah, intimacy into you. I see.
Okay, let's take it back. When did you lose your virginity? If you remember, when did you first had sex?
I'd rather not talk about that.
Is it too deep?
Yeah. I mean, you asked me when we started dating, and I said 19, right?
Yeah.
So
obviously you started having sex at 19.
You see, that's the question.
But now I want to know, if it's not at 19, then when?
Well, I was raped, and that's not a
conversation that you're willing for us to visit.
Yeah. Because that just brings
a lot of emotions.
Yeah, a lot of other stuff. Yeah, because like you're a child, why was nobody protecting you?
Yeah, because now I want to know, you were staying with your mom. Your mom was not working.
Before, actually, my mom was teaching at the rural areas, if I'm being honest.
Oh.
So, yeah, and I was mainly like in boarding school. Yeah. But anyways, it's one of those things, you know.
Did it happen at school or at home? Are you sure it's not your dad?
Why would you even... don't look at me like that. I would not... I don't... Let's just move on. Thank you.
No, we want to know, what are you sure
because
it's not?
What's the point now? It's just one of those things that... Like,
it's not one of those things. It's not normal.
There's a lot of things that are not normal.
Exactly. They are not even rape. I do not condone rape. Imagine if you were my daughter and of course you cannot be my daughter because now you are 30 something and I'm 20 something. But then imagine if and I'm sure you didn't even tell anyone about this.
I told my mom about it once. She asked,
and what?
Who did it? That was the first thing she asked me.
And did you tell your mom who did it?
No. She told me that she was also raped when she was younger. So it's weird because now we're normalizing it like this is just something that happened.
Did it happen once?
No, a couple of times. But it does matter.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does matter. Rape it's a no-no. Mm-hmm. We don't support rape. And I mean, men who rape, they belong somewhere.
Yeah.
Not even in jail. They don't belong in jail. I always say that.
So just speaking from a trauma point of view, you're talking about a girl who's never known love, who's never known support, who's known that she just has to take care of herself. I do not care
whether you don't know love or support or whatsoever, and no one speaks in your life. Now you've got me, I'm going to speak in your life. I don't care about what happened in the past. All I care about is now the person that raped you. You must go. In order for you to heal, you must say, I think now that your mom is late, there's no one that you can tell. Because if you fail to tell your mom, that means you were protecting this person.
Hypo, this is not an investigation.
It's not. It's not. Don't say the name. Don't say the name. It's okay. Don't say the name. But the fact that you failed to tell your mom the name of the person and you failed to mention all these years, it means you are afraid of this person. Is it true that you're afraid of this person?
No.
Are you protecting this person?
I just let it go. You know,
and letting it go, is it helping you, or it's a way of it's a coping mechanism now?
I used to cope a lot with drinking. So yeah.
Now you don't drink too much.
No. I finally let go of the vodka.
So what do you do? How do you cope now?
With healing. You know, I'm focused primarily on my healing journey. I just want to heal. You know.
And the person that raped you, is he still alive? Or she? You never know.
I don't know if they're still alive. It was a long time ago.
Did it happen at school or at home?
Are we stuck in this?
We're not gonna talk about the name. We just give me the
We're
details.
talking about trauma. We're talking about trauma.
I'm gonna haunt him. I'm coming for him.
We're talking about trauma. Anyways,
that's where it coming from. That's where it comes from. You understand? You are this way, and your mind and your body and everything around you is tied.
it would be very difficult for me, obviously, hypothetically, if I had a child right now, to ever leave them alone with a man.
See, that's what I'm saying. That, and also the fact that how did your mom feel when you couldn't say the person's name, when you couldn't mention the person? And how old were you?
12?
So your mom didn't pressurize you into saying the man's name.
No. As she said, she was also raped too, so.
So it's okay.
Not that it was okay. It was a different time, you know. Yeah. There's a lot of, I wish it was as simple. You know, I can make a hypothetical about, once I was dating a guy that I was dependent on financially. And this one time he hit me. And when I went to the police asked me, do you even have a place to stay after this? You know? And those are all the options that you have to think about. It's not just it's not like we see on Law and Order, you know, where there's justice, you know. Sometimes there's costs for certain things and you just have to make certain decisions, I guess.
This is very touching. This is very heavy. We are going to take a break.
What you want?
Hi there, I'm Latifa, but you can call me Queen Al. Are you looking for quality pictures at a reasonable price? Well then, contact Befro. Befro provides natural and heart-touching pictures. It'll make you want to say, wow, this is beautiful. You can book Befro for birthdays, weddings, or casual events, and more. Why am I telling you this? You can go and check out for yourself. All you have to do is call 074-955-7413, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, or visit our website www.befropictures.co.za. Izizi Nzobeba. Ciao!
What you want?
The undiluted. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for it?
Welcome back, guys. I'm still chilling with V. And now I want to find out from V, when did you first realize that something you went through was actually trauma?
Okay, I would like to actually break this down a little bit. You see, the issue that we're dealing with is not so much that bad things happen to you. Bad things happen to everyone.
Yes.
When an event becomes traumatic, it's because we experience maleficence in the sense that somebody you love is intentionally doing this bad thing to me. That is when your perception gets shifted.
Okay.
You know? So
you're supposed to protect me. You're supposed to love me.
Yes. When that trust is broken, when the people that were supposed to protect you were the same people that were inflicting pain on you. And it's not just that, because we can look at a family as a unit, right? But what were the aunties, the uncles, the everybody, the friends, the community?
Yes.
Nobody did anything. So now you become this renegade person, you know, where it's like me against the world. Survive or die. You start to only depend on yourself. So moving forward from that moment, you already have a negative perception of everybody
around you.
Your only job is then to protect yourself. And from there, it's like a wounded animal. I always say trauma is like you're a wounded animal, because subconsciously you just think that everybody is against you. And all your decisions are coming from a place of needing to protect yourself. So the first thing you need to convince yourself is that you are safe now, or at least you have become the adult that would have protected you as a child.
And in your situation, no one was there to protect
No one
you.
was there. No one was there. And it's crazy because people will come and say, I love you. What's love?
Exactly.
Like, what love? Really?
Or maybe they didn't see the pain that they were inflicting on you.
Or maybe they,
Or
these
maybe
things
they
have been
turned a
normalized.
blind eye.
These things have been normalized at this point. You're no different from anybody else. But also growing up, I thought that all families were like that. It's only when you grow older and you get exposed to different type of families that you're like, Aibo, this one's acting like they never got kicked in the face.
Exactly. And then to you, that's normal. To you, you've normalized it. You're like,
like, this is what happens.
I know things like that,
Like
happen.
when I knew something was coming, because sometimes you get to a point of like anticipating. When you grow up in chaos, you become very hyper vigilant. So you almost know where the danger is, and your safe spaces, right? So when you know something's coming, I'd even like put like a soundtrack on the TV. I'm like, oh, there's the gate opening. Let's turn on the volume. Let's put some Eminem there just for aesthetic. Because it's about to go down. It's about to go
and
down.
it will surely go down.
It would go down. The chaos became comfortable because it's all that you know. Right now, as I heal, I find that I struggle with peace, with quiet. Like, some people that can't fall asleep without
Noise.
noise in the background. You should ask yourself why. Because the chaos is comfortable. It's the quiet that's uncomfortable. Because when everything is quiet, you don't know where the danger is coming from.
Or
At least when
not.
there's noise, you know that, okay, stay away from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then tell us about your healing journey. Was it gradual, or there was a turning point?
I think that sometimes you do have to hit rock bottom. For me, it was recognizing my own patterns. As I said, it's like, Haibo, same situation, you again. Like, I can see the common denominator. Yeah. It's like it's a pattern. And then when you think about my childhood and everything, that's when you start understanding, would see like,
it's all rooted here.
yeah, it's me. Like, it's me most. And then, although, you tell yourself, it's like, but I was just trying to help the guy and yada, 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 yada. It's like,
Justifying, but no.
There was no gun to your head. No one forced you to be in that situation. You chose to be in that situation. And it is only when I could admit that to myself that I honestly started to heal. That I honestly started to heal. And I started to understand that healing is not trying to fix everybody else. It's working on fixing yourself, or at least those parts of yourself that you don't like.
And tell us about your healing stages also before we move on
It
from
starts
there.
with admittance. For me, one of the big
How does it feel or look like for you?
I can never go back. Now when you understand that most and all of your decisions were coming from a place of pain, and now you get to the other side and you're like, you can almost see everything in retrospect. You can say that, okay, a couple of years ago, I would have done that. And now you're in a place where you are able to make a different decision. You're like, I am perfectly fine. There's
nothing wrong with you.
Yeah. I no longer have that need to be validated. Right now, I'm only ever looking for my safe spaces.
Yes.
So, yeah, you guys, you can keep your toxic codependency there. Like, I'm good. The chaos is not exciting for me anymore. I just want peace and calm.
And were there moments when you felt like giving up? Were there moments when you felt like you want to end it all?
Like, in terms of suicide?
Yes.
No, because that would make them so happy. You know, I growing up, when you're living on survival mode, you have that survive or die mentality. Why should I die?
Yeah.
Why should this be my story? So that they can be
They
so
celebrate,
happy.
yeah.
Yeah, they'll celebrate, because if I ended it, I would just be confirming everything that they said about me, that I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. And no.
And I'm not like
I
that.
get to write my own story. You don't tell me who I am. The only person that knows who I am is God. Shame. Shame, 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 shame. God doesn't come from your village.
I want them to watch. I want them to watch this. Can you give them? Can you tell them? Tell
I
them
said,
you're
God,
still alive.
I am still here.
Yeah, and
I
you're
am
not going
still
to.
here, and I'm
You're
not.
not going anywhere.
I survived, and I had no one, and I had to dig myself out of that hole.
Where
by
they
myself.
buried you alive.
To go and die, Mosi. You know, I honestly believe that especially because I was labeled as the problematic child, and you know, the Bible will tell you, because some people are honestly reading the Bible wrong, will tell you honor your parents, and you know, or will be wrong with you. So I feel like I was made to be the example. You know, let's see what happens when you disobey. Unfortunately, God had other plans. Look who's still here. No,
And
God had
then-
other plans.
Exactly. God is not from
People
anyone's
honestly
village.
think that you're suffering. You look at them and you're like, because I keep quiet, you know, because growing up you find that sometimes when good things happen and you mention it, why does it just disappear? I learned, there's certain things you must keep to yourself, you know, because you don't know who's listening.
Yes.
Now also, I survived, and I thank God, because whatever it was, and I healed, you know. Can you imagine me if I came from a stable foundation? Like I'd be president by now.
I don't know, but then who would be in trouble?
I'm telling you.
Who would be in trouble? I mean, you would be far away, because I've seen your intelligence in just, you know, speaking with you. I've seen that you're actually a good person, and you would have been far away if you only got, you know, the route. But there's still time, man.
There is.
There's still time.
Yeah,
Like you
there
said, you
is.
still want to show them flames.
Oh, let me tell you. They don't know. They don't know what they're dealing with.
So what have been some of the most powerful tools in your healing journey? Like, what have you used? Books, music? How have you been speaking life into you, since you say there's no one? How have
other
you?
than God. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit out there, but for me personally, it is only when I started working on healing myself, like 100%, that I started to have dreams. You know, it's almost like I started to understand that the psychology aspect and the spirituality aspect are connected for me, my subjective life experience. Then you wake up from a dream will take you to a certain verse, and you know, you start focusing on that verse and everything, and the verse will tie back to whatever lesson you're trying to learn within your healing journey. So I find that everything happens in kind of like a circle. I can't unlink those words, those two, healing, spirituality, because I'm like, that's why I truly believe that, you know, it's God that saved me 100%.
Exactly. And it's God who is still keeping you till this day. Yes. And then what advice would you give your younger self?
That it's not your fault. That it's not your fault, and it will get better.
And it will definitely get better.
Because honestly, at this point, there are some lessons that I only learned by walking through the fire. So much so that I'm afraid that if the fire wasn't there, maybe I wouldn't have learned that lesson. You know?
Yes.
You know, I always say there's something, for the longest time I always felt abandoned, you know? But then I started to understand that the isolation wasn't punishment. It wasn't punishment. It was a way for God to like literally strip you of everything that you knew so he could mold you in his image now. Everything that you learned from your family, no, you're not part of that. You belong to me. You are mine. I'm going to show you the right way.
Yes, yes. I'm just glad and I'm happy that God has kept you till today. And I'm happy that a lot of women are going to learn from you, and through your movies and everything that you're going to do and touch. We are going to be here supporting you. We are going to be here watching, and also, happy for you. Like you've been through so much. We've listened to your story. We've heard what you went through, where you're coming from. So now I feel like, once someone share their story with you guys, you kind of see that, oh, that's why they're like this. That's why they are trying to change things. They're trying to be this woman. You understand? So I'm actually happy that, you get to share your story with us. But before we leave, what's next for you? Tell us what's next for you as a healing woman, and also as a content creator. What's next? What can we expect from you?
What's next? Definitely, I'm still going to keep writing, but I guess the themes for the stories that I want to tell are a lot more. I'm a lot more conscious now about the work that I put out there. I definitely want it to be work that builds, that changes, that when you watch it, then you're able to look at your own life and say that, okay, maybe I'm able to make a couple of changes here and there. Definitely, podcast is part where I want to break down like the steps, because it's a very unconventional way that I actually healed. When I look back, I can see that God really has a sense of humor. Yeah. Because I'm like, yo, that was wild, because it could have easily turned left. It's almost like I can look back and say that if I had continued on this path, I'd probably be dead by now.
Yes.
But there was like this, and that this redirection, So that's why also at this point I welcome redirection. I'm just like, God, wherever you want to lead me, I will follow. This has become very personal for me, very, very personal. And at the end of the day, it's just about educating people. That's the most important thing. You don't know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know. So if we can start from there, as I said, one of the biggest steps that I had to go when I was healing was admitting that I needed help, admitting that things were not as perfect and rosy as I made up in my own mind. So, yeah, people need to know that this is not the way it was meant to be.
It was not meant to be.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you are here telling your story, and you're actually telling us that you're healing and you are changing. Even if you're gonna have kids, you're not gonna raise your kids,
What touched
in the
me
same
will never
environment.
touch them.
Exactly.
Already.
You're going to protect them with your all. I'm very happy to hear that. I don't know. Any advice or any words that you want to give to maybe there's someone at home who is watching, who is going through the same, or who has been through the same experience? Any words of encouragement, anything that you want to say to our viewers before we close it?
I want to say that it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. And it's about the journey itself, not the destination. It's the lessons that you learn along the journey. Everything you unlearn, when you learn that, okay, maybe this is not what love is. Once you can accept that, then you start asking yourself that, okay, if this is not what love is, what is love? And I promise you, when you pray, you're going to get the answers. You will get the answers. God will show you. He will come down and show you. But we should always just go to God like a child.
Yes.
Because the one thing I need you to understand is He factored in your trauma. He knows everything that you've been through. He just needs you to be able to be honest and say that, hi, I'm tired now.
Come through for me.
Come through for me. I need you now because I'm tired. I got to a point where it's like everything that I thought that I knew, I was able to just let go of and say, I know nothing. Show me. So I would say that I got to a place of complete surrender. And it was only then that I actually saw change in my life.
Healing.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been God since day one.
It's been God. It's definitely, I'm not going to say it was the easiest thing. I'm very combative. I ask questions, be very inquisitive.
Yes.
Like, why? Why must I do this? No. And I just learn to talk to God in your own way, you know, your own subjective experience. Because trust me, he's trying to get a hold of you. He's trying to get you back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the takeaway for me is that I am at peace now, finally. It's almost as if I found the thing that I feel like I'd been looking for. So, yeah, I'm happy. And I am calm.
And we are happy that you are happy. I'm happy that you are I'm happy that you have overcome all the obstacles that they set, you know, on your way. And
I'm definitely learning how to trust again now.
And you're happy. And I wish you all the best. And I hope that you date soon. Start dating soon.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
You didn't tell them that you're not dating. You didn't tell them you are now, you know, in prison.
What?
Tell them what's happening with you. Are you dating? Are you seeing someone?
Not at the moment, but hopefully yes. Like I've gotten to, this is what I want to say. I got to a place of my healing journey where the next phase demands connection.
Okay.
So everything that I was learning within isolation, now it's time to put into action. Yes.
Okay, guys. If today's episode stirred something in you, let it. Yes. Let it lead you closer to healing, closer to yourself. And remember, the journey doesn't end here. We are walking this path together. To Valerie, we are proud of you and we wish you all the best. All the best in life, all the best in your business, all the best in whatever that you do. We love you. You can always come back here. And all the best. That's all that I can say. I cannot give you more advices. I'm running out. I'm running low. But all the best. We love you and we wish you nothing but the best. From me and from everyone here, guys, until we meet again next time. Bye.
Bye.
What you want? What you want?
The undiluted. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready
What
for it?
you want?